Imagine if the most influential part of our lives, home to over 6 million parts of our history, with 52 million pages worth of information and 41 million users, just went black. Well, that's what happened back on January 18th, 2012, when the English version of Wikipedia went dark. But why? What happened? Well, it all starts with this man named Lamar Smith. He was a member of the United States House of Representatives in Texas. The date was October 26th, 2011. Good old Lamar Smith had just proposed a bill into the House. It was called H.R. 3261. This was dubbed the Stop Online Piracy Act, or SOPA, and in short intended on limiting the hosting of copyrighted materials on websites on the internet, penalizing the websites on the internet that hosted them by forcing them to pay fines or even go completely offline. It also prevented these websites to be linked to in Google search, since it was becoming increasingly easier to download copyrighted materials from illegal third-party websites. It was an ongoing debate between the tech companies in Silicon Valley that argued that this would be detrimental and that the law was going about it the wrong way, and Hollywood studio conglomerates like Sony and Disney who wanted to bring an end to pirate websites infringing on their intellectual properties and argued that these websites needed to be brought down. If enacted, the SOPA laws would also bypass the safe harbor laws, which were passed under the Digital Millennium Copyright Act of 1998. These safe harbor laws protected websites that host user-generated content from being held liable should any legal drama go down. But if that were to be taken away, all websites that hosted user-generated content were at risk to be shut down. And so, because of the nature of Wikipedia and it being a user-based project, it was at risk. At a big risk at that. So on January 18th, 2012, Wikipedia alongside Boing Boing, Cheeseburger, Craigslist, Flickr, the Internet Archive, Mojang, Mozilla, Reddit, TechDirt, Tumblr, Twitter, WordPress, XKCD, and even Google protested against the act by censoring their websites or blacking their websites. When opening Mozilla Firefox, for example, the start page was altered, colored in black, and provided links with more information on the SOPA/PIPA bills. It also allowed users to email their congressional representatives. Google censored out its logo for the entirety of the day. Clicking on the censored logo will take you to an informational website about SOPA and PIPA, but the entire Google search engine was still operational. The TV Tropes website posted black bars atop the website with the message, "Stop SOPA." Mojang altered Minecraft code to feature a splash text that said SOPA means loser in Swedish. On the website, it said a similar message saying, "PIPA and SOPA? How about NOPA?" A website for the Game Reviews TV series, The Spoonie Experiment, changed its homepage into a more nightmarish version, involving a scarier version of its mascot and the words, "The Spoonie Experiment," replaced by red text proclaiming the experiment is over, signifying the proposed death of several websites. Wired Magazine's online website used JavaScript to place black bars on most of the text on their page, as if the text was redacted. The only thing you could see was their article regarding SOPA/PIPA. However, the readers can remove the bars with a mouse click. And Flickr created the ability for a user to censor an unlimited amount of photos as a demonstration of how SOPA/PIPA regulation would affect the site. The user selected photographs were grayed out and include informational text. But above all, when you got to Wikipedia, the only thing you would see is this. Quite ominous looking, isn't it? It reads, "Imagine a world without free knowledge. For over a decade, we have spent millions of hours building the largest encyclopedia in human history. Right now, the US Congress is considering legislation that can fatally damage the free and open internet. for 24 hours to raise awareness, we are blacking out Wikipedia. Make your voice heard. In support of the English Wikipedia blackout, the Italian Wikipedia redirected its main homepage to a similarly black homepage, which reads as, "The Italian Wikipedia welcomes and expresses its solidarity with the protests of its colleagues on the English Wikipedia against the Stop Online Piracy Act and the Protect IP Act. These bills, if approved by U.S. Congress, would limit the freedom of the web and the very survival of Wikipedia." The Italian Wikipedia had also done something similar to their page in the past. Their website had read a manifesto in October of 2011 due to the proposed wiretapping bill that would have allowed anyone to report something that they found offensive without monitoring from an impartial judge, forcing the publications to issue a statement and correct the issue, regardless of credibility. So, what's the message of this story? Well, the government and large media conglomerates repeatedly try to censor our internets, limiting our access to publicly available information. Censorship is a threat to democracies like the United States and Italy, so let's stop it. Happy 20th anniversary, Wikipedia.